levels of concern.
All right, let's
Kyle
go.
Brandt's levels of concern. Let's start with, because again, you just tell me how. I don't have numbers or DEF CON. It's not like war games or anything like that. But levels of concern. Your concern level for the San Francisco 49ers is what?
It's pretty high. Yesterday was a big day for them, and that Geno hero ball touchdown at the end. It's just it feels like one step forward, two steps back every time. I keep waiting for the 49ers to do the Undertaker gif where they sit up, and that the NFC should have kept them down while McCaffrey was out. They should have eliminated them. But Kittle's out yesterday, Ayuk out permanently. They finally get McCaffrey back. And it just feels sometimes with these seasons, these Shanahan teams sometimes have the snake-bitten years where it's like we just can't get it together. I thought yesterday was going to begin the run. And I still won't count them out. But I thought it was a horrible loss yesterday in which they played really ugly and blew it at the end.
Yeah, and Nick Bosa looks like he's got something that's not just going to be a week-to-week thing, too.
Yeah.
Like he definitely, it's an oblique or a hip or something like that. He couldn't get out there. And you know he's going to get out there if he can.
I know he was really happy a couple weeks ago off the field. He looks miserable right now. I know that. So
he needs to
better times, Nick.
He needs to make his oblique great again.
Maybe he should.
I don't know if it's going to happen. That's one of those things. Again, it's not like you put it in a sling and then all of a sudden you can come back.
No, but the Niners. I don't know if this is something I'm sure you guys have talked about. The Niners might qualify for my favorite type of team this season as we come down the stretch. I love the come running teams. The teams that are kind of middling, can't figure it out, 500, 5-6, and just go on a tear down the stretch. Now, they don't always get in because they lost too many games to September.
Yes.
But there's potential come-running factor with the 49ers if they win next week. But there's some come-running favorites. There's Colts, there's the Dolphins. And it's used to always, the Phil Rivers Chargers teams used to always be come-running. And they would always be like a game short. But it's so exciting because they're playing the best football late. They just don't have the best record. There's some teams that are sniffing around for that, too.
What's your level of concern for the Bengals right now at 4-7?
I adored this Bengals team. They're so fun.
Me too. I can't quit them.
I know.
I don't know why I can't quit them.
You know what? We did this morning on Good Morning Football. We did the TNT treatment where I finally had to say they're gone fishing, and we got Burrow with the fishing net and the fishing hook. I got to let them go. They're 4-7. They've lost 3 of 4. They're so fun and so lovable, and they're so exciting, but they almost never win. They have a feeling to me that they're like a basketball team. And I think Collinsworth was on it last night where he's like, this team's at its best when it just starts jacking up threes. Just start chucking it left and right. And they usually don't win, but they are one of the most fun bad teams I have ever seen. And I want Joe Burrow in the playoffs. I say this all the time. It's a better playoffs as Burrow is in because he's the only guy alive who's still beaten Mahomes in a playoff game outside of Tom Brady. And they're just not, we have to let them go. 4-7 is, we can't foul them to 4-7.
I was watching the game with my 2 boys, and as they showed Burrow trudging off the field, I'm like, there goes the greatest 4-7 quarterback ever.
So true.
You know what I mean? And I heard what Collinsworth was saying when they go 5 wide. He goes, this is when they're at their best.
Yes.
What are they screwing around with any other, formations? Just go 5 wide and let Joe Burrow do his thing. And you look at their schedule the rest of the way, they've got to, you figure they've got to run the table.
6-0. They got to go 6-0.
And so they're going on a bye.
Let's do this. Okay.
They go on a bye, home for Pittsburgh.
I don't like it.
Hold on a second. At Dallas, at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay. Home for Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Denver, that could be one of those games that it's for the tie break at the end of the day. And then at Pittsburgh. Hey. Yeah, I mean they got to go 6-0 there, right? They can't go 5-1 and stroll in 9-8, right? Even if they have the tiebreak on Denver.
I think you got to get to 10-7.
Don't you think?
They're 4-7. They got to get there. It doesn't make sense either, Rich. It's not just for the usual things. So there's a lot of teams that have talent, but they're 4-7. Joe Burrow leads the NFL in touchdown passes. Jamar Chase leads the NFL in receiving yards, and it's not just their offense is great. They have the NFL sack leader. Trey Hendrickson leads the NFL in sacks. It doesn't make sense. And yet there they are, 4 wins in 11 games. I can't follow you that far. I'd love to. It's more fun than them getting in the playoffs than somebody who might, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm sorry.
What's your level of concern? I'm going to go higher rent. 7-4 Washington Commanders. Once upon a time, 7-2.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, he's putting that heat pack on his stomach.
I know.
Would that be a good fantasy team name, TJ? Daniels' tummy packet.
Are you into that, TJ? You like it?
What do you think?
Okay. It's all right. Passable.
He's just saying. He's just trying to be nice.
That's okay.
I like Jim Irsay's basement better.
Jim Irsay's basement?
That's the name of the league that I play in, Jim Irsay's basement.
Is it right?
No, it should be, though.
It's very good. Do you have a level of concern for the Washington Commanders? 7-4.
I'm concerned for him. He doesn't look like him.
He doesn't look like him.
No, it doesn't look like him at all. He barely runs. He doesn't throw as accurately. I think something happened to his ribs, and I just don't know if he's the same now. Maybe he will be after this. And you know what? Like, do we think the Commanders are going to win the Super Bowl this year? No. I look at them a lot like I look at the Broncos. So the Broncos get a great win. Yes, looked awesome. The prior 2 weeks, they had the heartbreaker against Kansas City. They lose to Baltimore. So fine. They lost to some great teams in the AFC with some great quarterbacks. That doesn't mean I want to throw you on the scrap heap. I think still they're going to go to the playoffs. I don't think Washington's going to win the Super Bowl this year. I doubt they'll win a playoff game, but I think they'll be there. And it's a credit to them that we're even talking about them potentially losing in the first round of the playoffs and that being some kind of letdown. So concerned that they're going to go to the divisional? Probably, yes. Highly concerned. But I still think they'll go to the playoffs.
Okay, so let's go even higher rent. 8-2 Vikings. Do you have a level of concern about them?
Yeah, they have that feeling of, man, we peaked really early. I hate to say it, and in the standings, they were the best story of the first month of the season. I don't think it was close. I think the last month from where we are now, it's been the Steelers. But September, it was astonishing. The Darnold and the KOC, it was amazing. And now they still win, and their record is good. But do you like them better than the Lions? Of course not. Do you like them better than the Packers? We'll see. I don't like them better than Philadelphia. I think the problem with Vikings is they set our expectations so high that this could be the story of the year. And if you compare them to some of these NFC teams right now, they just don't pass the look test. Level of concern Vikings is pretty high.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.